I don't know about you guys, but I find Warhammer 40k, competitive 40k, really hard.
Yeah, it is really, really hard.
It turns out that one thing that makes a massive difference to how your games go is where you put your models. Who would have thought?
Yeah, never would have guessed it.
Games can literally be won and lost on deployment. Apparently, according to good people. I don't know. So we thought we'd get some advice on our deployment from a top competitive player. So we are going to meet up with Andy Lewis, who is a very good player. He's vice captain of Team Wales. We're going to deploy our armies in front of Andy, and he's going to tell us what we did right, but mostly what we did wrong.
And I think there's going to be a lot of what we did wrong.
I think there is too. I feel nervous. I feel like I'm about to have my homework checked in front of my teacher, you know? Right, should you do me first? So, again, I'm nervous about this. I have got 2 Grandmasters in Dread Knight armor in reserves. I've got a Nemesis Dread Knight here, a unit of 10 Purifiers here, a strike squad on my home objective, 10 Purifiers with Crow here, 5 Purifiers on their own there, 4 Paladins with a Grandmaster in the terrain, and another Nemesis Dread Knight there. That's my 2,000 points. Come on, critique me.
We'll start here on again.
All right, okay, yeah.
Talk me through this blank, I guess. These 2 units.
These 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Nemesis Dread Knight, the non-Grandmaster version, has advance, shoot, and charge.
Yeah.
So the idea is I've got some pretty heavy firepower that can get to an objective early on, and it's quite durable, and it can do quite a bit of damage.
Yep.
So that's the idea there.
Push a flank.
Yes, the Purifiers, I'll be honest, my 2 blobs are 10. I quite often just like to put somewhere where I know I can pick them up.
Pick them up.
Yeah. So as long as I know they're safe turn 1, I'm happy. Fair?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think obviously you want something to consider, and this is a big thing with everything, obviously. So we don't know what was down on the other side of the board.
Yeah.
You might have, for instance, in the Custodes, we've got bikes that move, I want to say 12. Anything fast moving. You want to see where they can get to, essentially, and if they can get an angle to shoot something, they're pretty sure they've got anti-tank guns, you want to try and that. So you might have been better off maybe here. Yeah. Depending, but your opponent's unlikely to put something right on the line because then they get shot on their first turn. You can kind of somewhat, balance that off.
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I would say, I didn't know he was going to put his bikes there, but like you said, I should have just, there's always a chance he could have, so yeah, that makes sense.
The other place I'd only suggest putting him in a little bit closer.
Okay. So like B plus or A minor?
Yeah, that B.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm not sure giving rankings. We're tempted. These guys, I would say that yes, about picking them up. Obviously, you're more likely to do that. It's always nice to threaten with them if you can.
Yeah.
This where these 2 units challenge each other for space.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in the Custodes army that threatens to pick up loads of these in one go and force a really good trade. If the bikes can charge them, that's obviously not great.
No.
If I believe they only move 12, 24 inches apart, you could leave them off the line and they shouldn't be able to be charged. Their shooting could kill 3 guys max. I want to say they 1 shot each. So you could have put them here, and then on your first turn, say you have secure no mans or something like that, you just walk up to this objective. This guy's obviously going to do the same, but they could do it safely from behind the wall, whereas he go by here.
Okay.
So he could have been a bit more aggressive with that, I think.
Okay. That's good to know. Strike squad?
Strike squad next, yeah.
So my first go-to is always just to put them down on my home because they can sticky. And they can scout 6, but obviously I want to stick in my command phase, so I never scout.
Always scout.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's something you could have done with them. It's not necessarily a mistake per se, but it's a possibility of an advantage. So if you put them here, so the sticky always comes in your command phase after your scout.
Yeah.
So you can kind of go, okay, where can I scout up to? I'm not sure 6 inches will get them to the middle objective.
No.
Far enough. On some other deployments, like Tipping Point, maybe sweeping you might be able to. On some of them, you're able to I might be totally wrong about that, but you can scout. Trying to aggressively scout onto an objective.
Okay.
It's always good to do. So you could scout onto it if you go first.
Yeah.
You sticky something in no man's land and then you walk back. Like in this situation, say you went first, I'm making it up, but let's say you could make it to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You just put them in a line, you sticky this.
Right, yeah.
And then you could run that way or run back or even just, go and try and kill something. You've
That makes
always
sense.
got to be thinking as if you're going first or second. So if you put 5 by there basically, or even 5 by there, I suppose, you could aggressively push up to there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to watch this fire.
I suppose even if I put them here, they could have scouted, and that objective is in cover. So yeah.
It's always the go-to is to always try and scout your home.
Mm.
Unless you're playing against indirect, you don't really need to scout your home because there's usually some form of uppy down, deep strike that you've got to be aware of. So you've always got to keep something on your home objective anyway.
So would you have suggested putting something else on here as well, and then scouting up?
There's multiple things you could have done with them. You could have put them by there and then scouted to here. You could have done this and left one guy on there, scouted forward and threatened this sort of area.
But then I don't control my home. So you think something else there?
You could. So if you were to play them more aggressively and put them there or here, then you need something on your home.
Yeah.
But it does mean that you have to keep something there. In this game, though, I think you do anyway because of the Terminators. So they can at any point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong by putting them there, but if you were going to say, the strikes are going to stay on my home and, be in and around here, I would just put them like that.
Right.
Scout it forward, left a guy on there, you can be aggressive. You see what secondaries you draw if you get Ares Nile.
Yeah.
You guarantee it then.
On the flip side of that, so just as to play devil's advocate in my thought process a little bit, with scouting, if you're saying, okay, be aggressive and push to the center, I always go, well, what if he draws overwhelming force or something about killing me on an objective? Am I playing into his hands then?
So,
or do you not think that way? Do you just think about what you score?
You definitely should, yeah. You should think about it all, essentially. We don't know who's going first, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. The scouting's always after who's going first. So there's 2 scenarios. You set them up so that, I can scout to safety if I go second, or I can be aggressive if I go first.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And you could have done it, like you said here, you can go up. This is your sort of, it's called your expansion. This is your safe objective because you've got a ruin to hide behind.
Yeah.
And then you need to threaten that one because that's your opponent's safe objective.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could put them here, you could put them there, put some staging. Scout's a really useful tool.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
With any units that you have that have scout, always be thinking, how can I affect, how can I get the most out of these? Because aggression, even if you're playing defensively, it's always important.
I'll be completely honest. The unit of 5 and the unit of 10 purifiers in this corner, it's a similar sort of situation. So I try and put the 5 somewhere where I can use them on the board. Maybe pop them out here if he's going to go to his expansion objective there, and just, because anti-infantry 2+ is massive, even with a blob of 5. Crow's unit, same as this one, I just want them safe turn 1 so I can pick them up.
Yeah.
That's all I really think about.
Yeah. You run out of space to put you've obviously got this little area that's safe.
Yeah.
All of this. You got some of that. I don't think Crow's unit is the end of the world. You could have put them here and had the scouts somewhere else. You'd probably need a second unit there if you were doing that. But
yeah.
One big thing though, this is a fire inlay. So say the Caladius put itself here, because this is not an awful safe space for it. They could just drive up to here and shoot that.
Not Crow's unit though, right?
Not Crow's unit, only the 5. But
yeah.
You could have just
I could have tucked them in. Yeah.
That's it. That's a minor thing.
Yeah, because it sounds stupid, but I was kind of looking at my fire in this direction. Yeah. I didn't really look at this direction. Sounds dumb.
But that's it. Essentially, so what I try and do, and I think what most players try and do at the top level, you don't want anything to be seen on turn 1.
Yeah.
You also want to be threatening as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then off the top of that, so things like your Dread Knights, you've got to hide because of the Caladius.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have to hide because of the Caladius, say it's been dropped down early, the firing lanes it can go into, you could maybe say that was down early. You could go, I could put a guy here now because let's assume the bikes were over there somewhere as well.
Yeah.
If you know this firing lane is not, you're only threatened from bolters or something like that, boom. Because then you can just freely move up. This is a safe area.
Yeah.
But you're finding that out as you go one by one with your deployments, which is also another good reason to leave your good long-range threats till the last drops, because your opponent won't know where their safe spaces are.
Yeah. So the only other 2 units down there then is the other Nemesis Dread Knight and the unit of 4 Paladins.
Yep.
My go-to with Paladins is always to put them as close as possible in cover to a no man's land objective, just because they're quite durable, 3 wounds, toughness 5, and they bring a model back in my command phase. So I just kind of think, I get them up, and if they die, they're not purifiers. Yeah. I protect my purifiers at all costs. And then the Dread Knight is just similar sort of situation as that. He has advanced shoot and charge, so
That's a very good spot for the Dread Knight, I think, because you can, because of this little terrain piece that I don't think the bikes would be able to fast enough to get into it. That is a good safe area over there.
Yeah.
Same with the Paladins. Essentially, for the entire game, you want to hold this. You want to take your opponent off that.
Yeah.
This probably won't come into play that much unless there's secondaries, because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So you can test in these two for the most part of the game. So yeah, you always want to have some units that can walk out, do something to affect your opponent's points over there, hopefully trade up, kill some units. Yeah, I think those 2 units are in a really good spot.
That's good to know. And then the reason I put the 2 Grandmasters in Dread Knights in reserves is because they can both, once we're battle round, reduce the cost of CP. So they can essentially rapid ingress for fear, which I like to do.
Yeah, rapid ingress is probably arguably the best strat in the game. There's a couple that can threaten it, but yeah, and 2 of them, 1 each turn. Yeah, really good. Yeah, because they don't advance and charge either, do they?
Those ones down now.
So they benefit the most from rapid ingress, and these guys are better on the table.
Okay.
Also makes a lot of sense.
I feel quite happy with my feedback on my homework there.
Pretty good. Mostly spot on, I think.
A minor?
Yeah,
B plus. I'll take it. All right, let's go and take James apart.
Yeah.
Well, I'll watch you take James apart.
Okay, so my turn. Yeah, nervous. So I've got 3 bikes, one of which is a captain over here with 3 Terminators and a captain with them as well. I've got 4 Witch Seekers up here out in the open with another 5 on my home objective. Interspaced with a unit of Wardens who also have Trajan with them. Behind them are 2 more Terminators and a Grav Tank. And over this side, I got 2 more Terminators chilling out behind here, along with a guard unit with Draxus leading them. There are also 4 Wardens in reserves. Yeah, so how does this take down Grey Knights?
I guess talk me through this.
Okay, yeah.
Flying first, what was your thoughts?
So keeping the bikes out of sight, turn 1, they're basically the only thing I have that can move fast.
Yeah.
So I can leave them a bit further back. If anything kind of appears at this end, I do have the movement to kind of get past the terrain feature. Anything that goes up to that objective, I can potentially handle. They have anti-tank guns, so if it's anything big, I can handle. If it's infantry, they'd love a charge into them anyway. But it's also backed up by why the Terminators are there, kind of out of sight. Their movement isn't great, so they might end up only wanting to move potentially more that way. But that will just depend on the first or second thing and what I'm kind of reacting to with them. But basically the main thing is keeping them out of sight and keeping them in range of the objective that he's going to want to go to.
But just spot on. Essentially, you want to... These are slow. 5 inches?
5.
Yeah, they're very slow.
Yeah.
It's the same as the Paladins, right?
Yeah.
This, as I said earlier, this is your objective you want to contest.
Yep.
You want to make sure that's safe.
Yep.
As best you can. So yeah, this is your staging point to go into that. This a little bit. Yeah, I think the bikes are in a really good spot because they move 12.
Yes.
So yeah, they could maybe get to here and threaten into this. That's really important that you do that. So you're both keeping them safe while still threatening some firing angles. And the Terminators are a bit closer as the slowest unit. Yeah, this was actually from being shot down that angle as well. Grey Knights are very much short range shooting, so you can be a little bit more aggressive in putting your stuff forward.
Yep.
Because they'll have to up you down to get the angles. They're not like this guy can move quite fast. I guess that might be the only thing. If a Dread Knight drops here and moves up 18, they could charge. You could have left them an inch off the wall to stop that happening.
Yes, yeah, true. Okay.
But other than that, I think, this is...
Okay. Good start. Good start. Yes. Strong start. Yeah.
That's the approach is...
Okay.
It's threatening while being defensive, right?
Yep. So I feel like I'm going to get the next part half right from what you've already explained with Jake, is these Witch Seekers are here to scout up into here.
Yeah.
My other ones are on the home, though, so I'm going to guess that. At 50-50, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's, again, good spot. You can at least scout 6 as well.
Yes.
7, yeah. They can scout this. They've got this objective, this objective.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing to do is check through your cards when you're deploying, just to familiarize yourself with them, or if you know them.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got areas and all covered. You've got areas and all covered with them, to be fair, as well, if you wanted to. But if you drew areas and all first, you don't want to, especially on turn 1, you don't want to go, right, here's 5 Wardens and Trajan. That's awful.
Yep.
You want to do it with them.
Yeah.
And they can do that now. They could do Secure. I don't know if they're big enough. Probably if you had the 5-man unit, might have been big enough to go here and spread across the both objectives. So that
okay.
Put the 5 there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you'd have to check it with me.
Yeah.
But
Okay, fair.
Obviously got more chance of doing it. So that's maybe one improvement, just one model.
Yep. Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I think like you can cover a lot of your secondary draws on turn 1. You can get to No Man's Land to do some of the No Man's Land secondaries.
Something.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. And also, if you skate to here, especially against Grey Knights, without them Epidanian, you can screen off Deep Strike here. They're pretty safe by there.
Yeah, that was more my reasoning putting the 4 there, not the 5, was that it's a smaller target. But yeah, maybe, I don't know the measurements exactly with the 5, so yeah.
I could be totally wrong in what I'm saying, but if you knew that 5 could stretch, then it's the sort of thing, just attack it before you deploy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then moving on to the blob that is back here. So first thing I'll start off with the 2 is I would plan on picking them up.
Yeah.
They got there once a game to go back into reserves. It will be the same with the other pair as well. They'll just go up and wait for a future turn when it's useful to bring them down.
Talking about them now would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I do like where you put that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good because, especially against an uppy-downy army,
Yeah.
that unit, any other unit's a bit too big. Maybe the 4-man sisters by there, but you want them to do forward, pushing forward stuff. They won't stay there, but they're screening, and you can screen that way. Drax's unit over there as well. We'll go over that in a minute. But I think the Terminators initially, you're thinking about uppy downy.
Yeah,
and they're in a very good spot. Yeah, and
yep.
About them, I'm not sure. Maybe they could have gone here, but I don't think it matters. I think here or there would have been the same.
Okay, cool. Then onto the grav tank. I've put it back here. Basically, I've got now an option to go this way or that way, depending on if I'm going first or second or where he's putting stuff. That's the main idea with that being there.
And the firing lanes, looking at the big, you've got this massive firing lane, so that's a big one to do.
Yeah.
You'd have put it over there or here, like here. This isn't a terrible space for it. Because it could have driven to here and threatened this, but then either one of them does that job. So you've done that with the bikes, so that's fine.
I always get paranoid of his uppy downy, so I know I kind of want stuff back here as well. So I kind of felt like if I'd put too much stuff on a side, then I'm leaving too much of a gap potentially in the middle. So that's always the paranoia, I guess.
I think you're very much a mind game playing uppy downy. I think these 2 essentially you could have put either or there. Like, that's in a good spot as long as you're threatening the firing lanes. Like you've got one here, you've got one there. You're going to push. You can shoot onto that objective pretty much. If he goes anywhere on that objective, you can shoot them. Same with this one, apart from behind the walls. So yes, it's a really good spot. And it's not getting shot in one, right? So we did mention about these swapping. Off the back of that, to be fair, I do think this actually being here probably would have been the better choice.
Okay.
Because of you got this protecting you from being shot. Yes, these could threaten that, but you've still got the Terminators. I think the tank basically shooting down there into this ruin. It's got along the range. So it probably would have threatened this angle a lot better than these would.
Okay, as a question to that then, so you would say protecting that lane is a better option than having the option of going into either of those 2.
We used to, so the reason for it is range. So
okay.
I think this is a long west.
48 on the big one.
48 range can take advantage of this longer firing lane.
Yep.
Although this is pretty long as well, there are a lot of places to hide over here, so it's less likely for you to get the angle on them. Mm-hmm. These guys also on the flip side, if these guys are here, they move 12.
Yep.
They can come stage, still threaten this. It's 1 turn later, so it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
But also they can threaten that straight away.
Okay.
Or you could have put the bikes by there, possibly.
Okay.
There's a lot of different options with it, actually. Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Now I think about it. But yeah, it's the short range. I think the range is. I don't think it's awful where they are, but the range is a little bit. This would have been better suited.
Okay.
Also, in hindsight, I know where everything is, to be fair, so that is definitely playing a factor in.
Yeah. I mean,
if they were there and this went to here, you're not shooting anything. So
okay. So when it comes to deployment, actually, with a slight side question, an enhancement you can take in. Oh, is it Lion? Yeah, it's the redeployment, and a few of them have that.
yeah.
Do you think that's a really strong enhancement to have then, or do you think kind of at this point stuff is where it is and it's not going to be a massive?
So it used to be, some of those enhancements used to be, you sort of went first
Yes.
and redeployed. That's ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
None of them are like that anymore, but I do still think they are useful. Like I play guard myself. I can take the adeptus and redeploy 3 units.
Perfect.
A lot of the uses with that you'll find, like in this case, it would be perfect, right? Wouldn't it? Because you just go, well, I pick up 2 units, so I'll pick this one up and I'll pick that one up.
Yep.
You could put something by there, and then a tank could then go, now I can shoot those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do still think it's useful. It's more useful if you have infiltrating units. Unfortunately, custody stuff.
Yeah.
So you could block off an area. Say Witch Seekers had infiltrate, right? You could put 5 sisters by there. Okay, you're not deploying anything forward into this, or you could do it over there.
Yeah.
Then before you roll off to go first, you just pick them up and you put them by there.
Yeah.
And then you can do your essentially what you're doing already.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all right. They're not your go-to enhancement, but they can be useful for sure. I think on a much, but G-dub layouts are very open. I am not used to playing on G-dub layouts. They are very open. It's more useful on this for sure, because you can drop a bunch of units down, you'll see those firing lanes, and then they'll just pick something up and be like, well, this massive area of the board is a lot safer now. I'd rather be over here.
Okay, fair.
So yeah, it can definitely be useful on this terrain. I think on WTC and UKTC less so. WTC, I don't think the redeployments are very good outside of the infiltrate stuff, but yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, something to think of.
So then the other one is the 5 Wardens with Trajan. To be honest, my main thought for them would be potentially stay back to start with, just in case anything does try to appear back here, or if I do want to, is advance them up into this, and then kind of go in from there. They were probably the one I was least certain on what I was doing with them, if I'm honest. So
I think
rip them apart.
They could definitely visit about.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not like staging here is not terrible. But
Yeah,
you leave them quite open. I guess here would be safer.
yeah.
They might have been better over there.
Okay.
Essentially, you want to. That's probably a unit that wants to try and say, "Come and get me off that objective," right? Or expansion. That's the tough one, and then Draxus can sit a little bit further back and do the shit with their loan up. So yeah, I probably would have put them similar to this area, but over there.
Okay.
So in by here.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, yeah. Because they're a little bit too defensive in that position. I would say that. It'll take you a couple of turns to get to like here or there, and the middle is just death.
Yeah.
You don't want to be there.
So then I guess, moving down to the other side.
Yep.
Obviously, we've said about the Terminators. And my idea was with the Guard and Draxus was they would go up to that one. And because they get the rerolls when holding the objective,
Good shooting.
with a lone op, Draxus shooting as well. That's why I was thinking them up there. Whether those two should have maybe swapped. And
So I think that's a good spot for them as well. I think
Okay.
these two could have double teamed onto that sort of that objective, and them as the second wave maybe. Like with the low knot, I want to say you do it on your opponent's turn. No, you do it in your command.
Yeah, command phase, and it's a 2+.
You do need to protect them early on. Actually, you don't have loads of screens. Like I'm just trying to think a bit outside the box. They could have maybe gone here, and then they could come out to there, threaten this, pop up their low knot. But at that point, you're also going, I need to push forward to make sure you can't just deep strike within 9 of me.
Yeah.
It would have been here or there, I would have said. So if you'd have been able to get this unit and that unit while not being seen too much, that would have been good.
Yeah.
I think that would have been quite tricky, actually. So you would probably have had to choose between which one goes.
Yeah. Now, saying it out loud, I feel like I would have almost preferred to swap them because that objective is I could still be on it and get the rerolls from being outside. And with the lone op from there, that might have been a better position. But
it does make it harder to come to. Like, it would have to be a deep strike really close, and at least then you can counter punch. So
Yeah.
That probably would have been better, yes.
Okay.
2 units.
Cool.
But yeah, it was...
And then as for the Wardens and Reserves, to be honest, I didn't have much of a plan for them. That was just, I wasn't sure where to put them, and they were kind of too expensive just to put nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because they can deep strike as well.
You were right to put them in reserve. Similar to the Dreadnoughts, they were a very good rapid ingress threat.
Yeah.
On this sort of board, just a little bit more open, but you don't want to... Rapid ingress is really powerful because you can cut off certain firing lanes for things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're cutting off a serious firing lane, especially with deep strike, you're pretty much exposing yourself. So the Caladias could just be like, well, I won't rapid ingress, but I'll just shoot you next to it.
Yep.
So they could, yeah, a rapid ingress threat is always a good thing to have, especially when it's 4 Wardens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And because it's a small army, that's all of it.
Yeah.
B+, B+.
I'd say it was similar. Definitely similar. See? You can see you play each other a lot.
Yeah. That's the thing. Too many games into Grey Knights.
Yeah, I'd say a B+. Yes. As your deployment was, matched. Let's say that.
Okay, so that was a quick lesson for us in deployment. Both getting a B. I feel like we did okay. There was obviously some suggestions for us both, but if you were to give us like general takeaways, was there anything in particular that we had to weak on?
Use all of the abilities you've got. So yes, I think the scout was probably the biggest one. It's very easy to just be like, I want to be on my home. I don't need to use my some of my abilities, especially deployment and movement stuff. You want to use as many as you can. So scout ability is really important. You did the firing lane stuff really well. I thought, you cover him where things can go. Pre-measuring. Yeah, measuring is your friend. Yeah, because if you know, right, this can move 18 and then charge this far, you just go, I know this charges this. It's like an 11. Take it if you want. You make those, you work out those risks, and because that can show you exactly where you can put your units. Like you know that, right, that's safe. Let me just work out where that dread die can go. Right, if he goes this far, yes, you can shoot this, but nothing else can shoot it, and then I'll be able to countercharge you with, say, 2 units. So like always pre-measuring is good. Yeah, knowing where your opponent's going to be and how you can deal with it if it happens.
Yeah,
it might not necessarily happen, but yeah.
Love it. I feel like I've definitely done something. Anything more to ask, James?
I don't think so. I guess it's just any basic tips for beginners who are looking into just learning how to deploy. First time they're trying to research it. What's your top 3 tips?
Top 3 tips. Read your secondaries.
Mm-hmm.
So before you deploy any models, pull out the secondaries that are like, off the top of my head, so things that you can score on turn 1. So behind enemy lines, obviously not, but you get to redraw that. But like area denial, it's like, right, I have to consider this when I deploy. I have to consider secure when I deploy. Extend all the cards that you think, right, this can be done on turn 1 based on if I deploy properly, and then deploy with that in mind. So that's number 1. Check your secondaries. Try not to be shot at all. Okay, the obvious one.
And that's just for life in general, not just Warhammer.
Yeah, being shot bad. But you also got to try and still be aggressive. So like that second one, you if you can not be shot at all while still being able to do step 1,
it's just like finding a balance.
Exactly. Yeah. Third one,
Pre-measuring.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, pre-measuring. Knowing, as a beginner, to be fair though, there's like you want to take your steps through it. So I think pulling an army that someone else has come up with, deploying it and trying to understand it. You deploy as if your opponent's not there. Then you ask your opponent to deploy and ask their threats, and that's where the pre-measuring comes in. You can change your stuff based on their threats, and so you can see, right, this is what I should do if I absolutely I'm trying to do all these cards, but then my opponent might be able to take advantage of 1 or 2 of those things, so I'd have to change them retroactively. Yeah.
Okay, great. I have one more question. Are you a gambling man?
No.
If you were, and you were to look at this match, not taking into consideration it's Grey Knights versus Custodes, take the matchup out of it.
Yeah.
Based purely on deployment and the assets at hand, who would you bet on?
Actually, you deployed quite similar, to be fair.
Yeah, managed to mirrored each other and
yeah,
without realising.
I think Grey Knights have got an edge over No, you can't. I did that into account. Just based on deployment. Oh, okay. Based on deployment, yeah.
Surely the
Not knowing who goes first. Mm-hmm. I actually would edge it towards custodes. Interesting. Only just. I think partly the fire remain down. So on turn 1, there could be some losses that you could have avoided. That's all. Interesting. Yeah. I feel like we need to play the sound man. Wrong, right? Yeah. We're saying, if I think it was 100%, mic drop. No, that was really informative, really enjoyable. Hopefully it helped. Yeah. All good.
all good.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, you're welcome. 7 minutes. Say subscribe to Tabletop Alliance. Subscribe to Tabletop Alliance. Hell yeah.